Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's talk. So, with the leaving of Mr. Max Kellerman from ESPN, now you have Michael Irvin, who has stepped in to assist Stephen A. in the show. And I don't know what their goal is, but I know that they were saying before, whenever what was the lady name? I can't think of her name right now, but when she was leaving, she was expressing her feelings about some racial disparities at ESPN, and she was saying that the young lady, she received her job, Miss Maria Taylor, I believe. She said that she received her job through what is it? I'm trying to think of the word. I hate when I get on here and just start losing words and just have a brain fart. But that's where all those ums and stuff come from, where I'll be trying to think of those words. But she was saying how the young lady was given the job only because she was black. And with everything that's coming out and what we're seeing with Max Kellerman leaving and a black person being added in, Michael Irving, and then the other lady leaving and being replaced with the black lady, we're seeing that ESPN is trying to change their racial diversity issue. And so Paul Pierce recently did a interview where he put ESPN on blast about a lot of things. And one of the things that Paul Pierce said was this: look, they tell you what to talk about. You don't have an opportunity to really speak your own mind. They constantly make you cover LeBron James, and it just wasn't a good deal for him. He got tired of it and he was ready to go anyway. So as you know, Paul Pierce was fired from ESPN because a video came out of him smoking weed and having strippers at his house party or whatever he was having. And they said that's not a good look for the company and so forth and so on. And they fired him. And so Paul came out and he was laughing. He was like, okay, so what do you think, you're really doing something? And then he went on to start to speak about the inner workings of ESPN. And there are some major malfunctions going on with this company. You see them bringing on the new people, getting rid of Max Kellerman. For what reason? Because I've never known Stephen A. to be a proficionado in boxing. He does not know the sport of boxing. He does not know what it entails, and he has never boxed before. I seen a video of him trying to get some training, and it was one of the saddest things I ever seen in my life. Stephen A., with all that mouth you got, you absolutely have no fighting skills, man. You need to get that up. But that's neither here nor there. My thing is this. They get rid of Max Kellerman and they bring on Michael Irvin. Well, Michael Irvin can talk about football, but that's all Michael Irvin can talk about. So here during football season, Michael Irvin will be an asset. But what about when football season is over with and there are other sports that needs to be analyzed and needs to be talked about? Who are they going to go to then? Are they going to get rid of Michael Irvin and get somebody else who knows about that sport? The formula for ESPN is not working. We see what's going on. We see that there's a muzzle being placed on these people. And if you're not willing to play the game like Stephen A., if you're not willing to speak these talking points that they give you, and if you're not willing to defend the elite at all costs, then you will be short-lived at ESPN. This is the message that's being promoted. So what other sports organizations are doing this? Well, I noticed at TNT over there where Shaq and Charles and all those guys are, that they don't talk about the Ball family. The only time they talk about the Ball family is to criticize any of the sons or the father. This has always been TNT. And even when it came down and they did the interview with LaMelo, Shaq was very short with him, and he gives all of this praise to Embiid, and he just fogles over these guys like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. But when it came down to LaMelo Ball and winning Rookie of the Year, it seemed like Shaq was sour. And we all know Charles Barkley and the things that he said stuck his foot in his mouth plenty of times concerning the Ball family and all the little jokes that he said. Now the jokes are coming back to slap him in his face. And so TNT has this thing against the Ball family for whatever reason, but they know that they're a money maker, and so they will be willing to forego their feelings about the Ball family to have them on in order to boost their ratings. It's all about using them. It's nothing about their family. And so when I see things of this nature, that lets me know that there's a narrative being pushed from up high to where they only want certain people covered, like LeBron James, who's he's on the inside. He's one of the guys. If you're not one of the guys and you're not doing it their way, then you're not going to get the coverage and you're not going to get the praise due to you. See, Shaq is a Mason. Shaq is a Freemason. A lot of people know this. He's definitely taken oaths, and he's definitely made some commitments to people to push a certain agenda across these airwaves. And he has the influence to do it. Shaq is a very influential guy. So is Charles Barkley. So is Stephen A. So is Michael Irvin. These are guys who have been brought in, and they're like, okay, these guys are good. The gatekeepers allowed them in. And they're going forth and they're pushing the agenda and they're speaking the talking points that they would have them to do. Now, Paul Pierce, he on the other hand said, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. Y'all got me over here just talking about LeBron, like he's the only player in the world that's doing anything good. And you're stifling what we have to say. Anybody who has a pure thought of their own will be chastised for it or penalized for it. And Paul Pierce, he made that perfectly clear. So what I would like to say to the congregation right now is watch out for these sports channels, because they have an agenda too. A lot of them come in here and they talk sports and this and that, but there's an underlying agenda that's being pushed, and there's certain things that they won't say, and there's certain things that they will say in order to keep their views up, and in order to keep their channel intact and on good terms with the higher ups. So just keep that in mind when you're listening to these sports shows be talking about certain people and just boosting them up way beyond all control. That's like Shannon and Skip. You know how Skip goes all in on the Cowboys, and we know that Skip does not believe in his heart of hearts that the Cowboys are going to do anything. But because that's his shtick and that's his storyline that he's been running with, he has to come to the defense of the Cowboys. And he has to speak certain talking points to contrast what Shannon Sharpe is saying, because if they sat there and they agreed all day, then no one would be interested in their content. And so they have to go against each other. And so somebody has to play good cop. Somebody has to play bad cop. Sometimes it's Shannon, sometimes it's Skip. They go back and forth with it. But this is a format that has been noticed by many. It's definitely noticed by me. And it further goes along to prove what I was saying when I was talking about LiAngelo Ball, how everybody loves a storyline, and the sports industry is no different. They create storylines in order to make someone more marketable. They create storylines in order to build the interest of the people so that they can tune in and that the ratings can go up. They're always in a constant competition for ratings. And so there are things that they have to do to cater to the masses in order to stay at the top of the ratings chart. So we have to understand that as well. And as we understand these things, then we will begin to see that these guys are puppets. And there are providers here that are falling into that Stephen A. mantra, to where they will allow anything on their channels so that they can cater to those higher ups and get those likes and views and things of that nature. So just keep this in mind, y'all, as we go through the football season. We're going to hear a lot of narratives that are just ludicrous and preposterous, but just know that those narratives have to be spoken. That is in these guys' contracts. That is a part of what they do. And if they don't do it, then they will be replaced by somebody who's willing to do so. So that's all I want to put out there. I wanted to say to Paul Pierce, salutes to you, Paul, man, for standing up and not allowing them to control you and just run your life, basically. So, yeah, shouts to you, man. And y'all know what I'm going to say. I'm going to end on this note that I always do. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. It's your boy D-Mac. I'm out.